Okay, so where was I? This was farm mechanization. So farm mechanization means using of machine on land resources to increase its productivity. There are different benefits of it. First is it enhance productivity, it encourage job creation, it focus on technological progress in Indian agriculture system, because if we use some bit of machines into it, it can reduce cost and increase productivity to the larger extent. Okay, but again there are some challenges as well, because if we compare about with Brazil or USA or China, we see that India have a lesser mechanized. You can make even graph here in your mains answer writing. Okay, like this kind of graph, and you can see that India is having only 40%, whereas China is having 60%, Brazil is having 75%, okay, and USA is having 95%. So you can make this graph that India's agricultural mechanization is quite low as compared to other countries. Okay, then financial barrier as well, because those farmers cannot afford those kind of resources. Then there are different schemes. So first one is Namo Drone Didi scheme. It is quite recent in nature. It is a part of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. Okay, this scheme empowers women self-help group by providing drones for agricultural tasks. Key feature, it target is 14,500 selected women SSG, and between 2024 to 26, because it is ongoing scheme, they might ask this data, because now again UPSC is changing its trend. They might ask this kind of thing. They have asked in past years as well. Okay, so this SSG will offer rental drone services for spraying fertilizer and pesticides. Drone package, it include drone spray assembly, battery charger, camera, and 1 year warranty. So who will be funding this? Union government will fund, pay 80% of the cost, okay, and rest 20% of that cost will be paid by SSG. Okay, who is charged? Ministry of Rural Development. So these are the important information. First is this one, 24 to 26. Union government 80% cost, SSG 20%, and then Ministry of Rural Development as a in charge. Okay. Then next is key step to enhance credit availability. So again, because farmers does need money to finance, but they mostly dependent on money lender and informal those creditors. Okay, so that is quite exploitative in nature, and that's why government focus on credit availability to farmers. And agriculture comes under RBI's priority sector lending norms as well. I have discussed this already in monetary chapter. And then nationalization of bank happened also. The major reason for this nationalization, which happened in 1949, was that to increase its reach in rural areas. Then third is Kisan credit card. Farmer get easy access to credit for buying input and lower interest rate. Then interest subvention scheme. Farmer enjoy reduced interest rate on loan, lowering their repayment burden. So interest subvention scheme means if they are taking loan from any bank, they will pay subsidized interest only. Some part of their interest payment will be taken care by government itself. Okay. Then comes negotiable warehouse receipt. Negotiable warehouse receipt, who is the in charge of this particular scheme? Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. So we are discussing in agriculture chapter, and we are talking about warehouse. So you might get think that this warehouse will be dealt by Ministry of Agriculture, but here you have to remember that no, where national negotiable warehouse receipt will be dealt by Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, because public distribution warehouse keeping all those material for distribution itself. Okay, that's why. Then who will be regulating authority? Warehousing Development and Regulatory Authority. How it will work? Farmer deposit their produce in WRA registered warehouses and receive negotiable warehouse receipt. What will be benefit for farmer? Farmer can either pledge the NWR in banks to secure, if they are getting this negotiable warehouse receipt, that means it is a kind of agreement. They can show it to bank and secure loan. They can ask for loan from bank, because if they are going to bank, bank will ask either put your land on collateral, put your produce on collateral. So for producing, for take putting produce on collateral, this NWR will help. Okay. Then PM Kisan Bhandaran initiative scheme. It came in 2023. What is the purpose? It designed to support small and marginal farmers who cannot afford to store their produce. Okay, so this through this, the farmers produce, small farmers produce will be kept safe. Okay, benefit: farmer receive subsidies to pay for warehouse storage, and farmers storing produce in warehouse receive additional interest subsidies on Kisan credit card loans. So government will help them, small farmers, to keep their produce safe in warehouses facilities, because they might charge huge what those small farmers cannot pay. Okay. Second is e-Kisan Upaj Nidhi warehousing scheme. It came in 2024. Again, it is important. Okay, who is in charge? WDRA, Warehousing Development and Regulating Authority again. And what is the objective? It simplify warehousing logistic and provide farmers easy access to post harvest loan. Okay. So there was 1 lakh warehouse, but only 5500 were registered with WDRA. But after this scheme, it increases number of registered warehouses. Okay, so there was benefit of this scheme again. Okay. Then world largest grain storage program. This is also important and it is quite recent in nature, so you need to learn it. World largest grain storage program. It is run by Ministry of Cooperation. So you can see there are different ministries. First one, negotiable warehouse receipt, is taken care by Ministry of Urban Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Okay, but this one, world largest grain storage program, it is also related to warehousing capacity, but it is run by Ministry of Cooperation. Why cooperation? Because there would be involvement of some cooperative sectors, and they will take care of this storage, increasing its storage capacity and all those things. And when there is a cooperative sectors involved, Ministry of Cooperation have to intervene in it. Okay, it is supported by NCDC, National Cooperative Development Corporation, NABARD, FCI, and CWC. So there are different government institution as well who are focusing on this particular scheme, because as we say, world largest grain storage program. So of course, it is not going to be regulated just by one, or just taken care by just one institute. Okay. So there are multiple institutes involved in it, and they all are important. Try to learn all these stuffs. Okay. Then goal: expand grain storage capacity and reduce post-harvest loss. Storage capacity, again, in the previous slide also I have talked that India have 47% percent of storage capacity as compared to USA, which have 161%, and Brazil have 149%. Quite low. Then another issue is stubble burning. So now we are, actually we were talking a lot of issues in Indian agriculture. It is also very burning issue, stubble burning. And because of the stubble burning, they used to burn all those leftover produce on farm, and they used to burn it. And because of this, huge pollution spread, air pollution and some form of water pollution as well spread all over the nearby region, especially in Delhi, Haryana, Muradabad, and all those cities. Okay. So there are different methods to control it. First is in situ composting. So in this method involve decomposing the crop residue directly on field, turning into valuable organic matter. So for this we have Pusa decomposer. Pusa decomposer. Okay. But what happens is, even this Pusa decomposer takes around 15 to 20 days to dissolve these organic waste and make it as a fertilizer for that particular land. But when farmers, if you see, this is not relevant from prelims ones, but I'm just giving the idea that because of the recent, not recent, it is quite decade ago that act was passed in Punjab, that you have to produce wheat up to this period of time, and then you have to produce rice to this period of time. And because of that, farmers are getting lesser time uh, between the harvest of rice and this one, uh, seeding of wheat production. And because of that, it mainly, that act mainly came to preserve water in Punjab. Okay, water something act came in Punjab. And because of that, most of the farmer use short-term measure. They used to burn their stubble and quickly get rid of all those agricultural waste. Okay, but again, that was a major reason for stubble burning, because even today when everyone is saying that don't burn, it is polluting air and all those things, why even farmers are doing that? They not being aware of this? They are being aware of it, but this is their necessity. They have to seed wheat on time to get efficiency in production of wheat as well. Okay, so advanced machinery for wheat sowing, rotary slasher, zero till seed drill, rotavators, happy seeders, and all, there are different methods through which they can control stubble burning. Okay, there are legal measures as well. First is National Green Tribunal, which got set up in 2015. Burning crop residue has been declared illegal. NGT is quite old. This particular legal thing for stubble burning came in 2015. Burning crop residue has been declared illegal under section 188 of the IPC. So you can use it in your mains answer writing as well. And Air and Pollution Control Act of 1981. Okay, Budget 2018 says that 100% funding allocated to Punjab, Haryana, and Delhi to tackle burning issues. Okay, farmer to receive subsidies for purchasing machine to avoid residue burning. Okay, so there are different things. Even today in Air India, I heard about some experiment done by Chennai school student, and they have got prize in IIT Kharagpur for for solving this stubble burning issue as well. So in coming years, probably we will find some newer method as well to deal with this problem. Okay, so second, next topic is APMC, Agricultural Produce Market Committee. So APMC is the region, is the locality in particular region. They used to purchase produce from farmers at MSP rate. Okay, some produce which are decided at MSP, and some of the produce which is not under MSP, they used to get some auction, and some price are being decided, and they used to purchase those produce at that price only. Okay, so it actually initially formed to produce to protect farmers. State government introduced APMC law, stating that first sale of agricultural produce must happen at APMC market yards or mandi. They are also called as mandi in local region. Okay, what is the problem? Again, because as I said, if that produce are being sold at a MSP rate, that is okay, but when they are doing it on auction basis, then probably those agents which are working in APMC, they have some sort of exploitative in nature, and they used to set lower prices. Because of that, farmers are being exploited. Okay, second is political influence. The most of the things are being idealized and something like that. Okay, so APMC trustee are often political figure who maintain cozy relation with commission agent, forming cartels. As I said, they used to form cartel, and they manipulate price, deprive farmers of fair prices. Lack of vision, poor infrastructure as well. They have no storage capacity, so most of the produce are being wasted in FCI units as well. Then Model APMC Act came in 2003. It brings some reform in APMC. It allows private entrepreneurs, cooperatives, and corporate companies to set up alternative market and engage in contract farming. Okay, so it allowed, but in 2020 there was passing of three farmer bill, but they were ultimately taken back by government. Okay, so that was also containing some of the reformative measures for APMC, but that unfortunately didn't apply. And one thing you also can notice here, that APMC are under state government. So in that case, you can also learn, not learn, but just take idea that some of the state might not have this APMC because they are not allowing it. For example, in Bihar, you will not find APMC in Bihar because state government does not allow it. Okay. Then comes e-National Agricultural Market, e-NAM. Okay, by name it suggests e-NAM. That means something related to digital. So who will be taking care of it? Ministry of Agriculture. It connect over 580 APMC on a single online platform, promoting interstate and intrastate trade. It reduces information asymmetry. Information asymmetry means uh, not having equal information to each party. For example, suppose I am a farmer, you are also a farmer, I am having more information than you, and I can use those information for my benefit and for your exploitation. So that is called information asymmetry. If you and me both have the same kind of information set, we can use those information for our betterment, for getting fair prices and all those things. So to reduce this information symmetry, this ENAM is one of the progressive measure. It ensures real-time price discovery as well. Okay, then then Grameen Agricultural Market, GRAMs. Revamp local market Grameen Huts to be linked with ENAM. It allow farmers to sell directly from rural market. Okay. Then comes agricultural selling outside India, Agri Export Policy 2018. Okay, so objective is to improve agricultural export. Even in 2023, India's agricultural export was around $50 billion. Okay, so that is quite good in nature. But if you see the export basket, you will find mostly rice and wheat and milk and all those product only. But we have to focus on diversification of those agricultural export as well. Okay, so in agricultural export policy 2018, they also focused on those diversification of export basket as well, and more focus on high value crop. Okay, yeah, and that is why if you see in the recent years, there is much focus on oil seed schemes, pulse scheme, something like that. Okay, then minimum support price, MSP. Okay, so MSP means getting like purchasing farmers produce at predetermined price. Probably it is generally higher than market price. So because it is higher than market price, most of the farmers used to sell their produce to APMC only at their prices, MSP rate. Okay, so MSP, so but not every crop is under MSP. So there are 22 crops in MSP coverage, including wheat, rice, pulse, and oilseed. You have to learn those list, that what are the different crops under MSP. That is important. Let me do it for you right now only. MSP crops, India. So these are the products. You have to learn it. Okay. So first is paddy, rice, okay, then red gram, groundnut, not chili. No, 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 no. This is not the correct one. This one is important. Okay. So soya bean, jowar, sesame, moong, sunflower seed, cotton, ragi, groundnut, Niger seed, paddy, maize, tur, urad, bajra. So you can use some kind of acronym as well to learn these kind of things, but you have to remember this particular list. This is important. Okay. Then MSP impact. First is farmer protection, informed decision making, market impact. MSP limitation, of course, because much of the produce taken under MSP is rice and wheat only. They are lesser focused towards other kind of crops as well. Okay, and then MSP doesn't cover fruits and vegetable, and remote farmers face logistical challenge. Of course, MSP is itself in itself is a huge topic and huge issue which cannot be covered in this particular session. They are highly relevant from a mains perspective. So I'll definitely discuss during mains. Okay. Then comes PM Ashai scheme. So to cover MSP limitation, because MSP was taking care of only few crops, and that too most of the farmers like only because those farmers who have the APMC residing in their local area, they can only get benefit of MSP. Most of the farmer are not getting benefit of it because of the lack of those facilities around in their locality. Okay, so PM Asha scheme in 2018, this was launched to address MSP limitation. What is the contain? It contained price support scheme, price deficiency payment scheme, and private procurement stockist scheme. Okay, this is mainly that you sell your produce in market, and we will provide, as a government, we will provide the differential amount. For example, MSP rate for wheat is 100 rupees per kg or something like that. Okay, just a hypothetical example, and you are selling it in market at 80 rupees. So rest of the 20 rupees I'll be providing to you. Okay. So this is PM ASHA price shop support system or price efficiency payment system. So price efficiency payment system, the rest of the amount. Price support scheme, I'll be giving some sort of money for you to sell in market. As name suggests, private procurement stockist scheme, there would be private entrepreneurs who will purchase those things. So if you see Ashirwad Atta and all those things, they are private owners who used to purchase from farmer. Then FCI, Farmer Food Corporation of India. It got established in 1950s only, just after independence, and when APMC got established during Green Revolution as well. But and they used to procure grains at MSP rate for public distribution and food security, because you might have heard about food subsidy, public distribution system, PDS, and below poverty line, and all those things. So FCI is a major body who used to look after these things. Okay. Challenge, the most important challenge is that storage capacity. Most of the food got wasted at FCI. Okay. And they also procure less some non-cereal crop, nutritional crop. They are much focused on wheat and rice only. Okay. This is very important point. Cobweb model, let me write it clear. Cobweb model, cobweb theory. That means uh, you might have heard and saw in your area that in one season tomato onion price are quite high in nature. Okay. And in the another season you will see that tomato onion are having lowest price of their time. Okay. So most of the farmers are even throwing their produce on roads, on a street, as a matter of protest, and just to show government that look, we are wasting our product. Yeah. That happens. Why it happens? It is the structural issue. It is not something government failure all of a sudden. It is the structural issue. Why? Because of cobweb theory. See, there is a elastic demand. Okay. Elastic demand means, for example, my demand for tomato, for onion will depend on right now current time only. Okay. I can demand tomato or onion based on my taste, based on something which is in my environment. Okay. But supply of agricultural produce takes time. Okay. Supply comes with a time lag. Suppose I am a farmer. I have seen in my area that tomato prices are quite high. Okay. So I think that tomato production would be beneficial for me. It will give more profit to me. So in the next season, I will produce tomato. But like I am thinking, other farmers are also thinking in the same manner. So when all farmers are producing the tomato only, so in the next season, what happens? The supply of tomato will goes on a greater scale, higher scale. So at that time, when supply of tomato increases, prices of tomato will go down. Okay. So at that moment, I'll be having loss. I was expecting huge profit, but because of the time lag in decision making and in terms of production and coming into the market, there was huge supply in the market and price goes down and I got loss. So this is cobweb. Like demand will depend on current season, but supply of agricultural produce depends on the previous season. Okay. And this keeps continuing, because for example, in the next season, in the coming season, I got loss. So I think that now I won't produce tomato. I had loss. So in the next one, I won't produce tomato. And like me, there are many farmers who won't produce tomato. So again, in the next season, what happens? Supply of tomato will decrease. So when supply decreases, price of tomato will go high. So this loop will continue. Okay. Okay. So I hope you are able to understand this one. Cobweb issue. Cobweb मतलब मकड़ी का जाल. So मकड़ी का जाल, just a second, let me cover this one. So cobweb issue means makdi ka jal, and the cobweb means that the time and prices of tomato or even that onion or even that agricultural produce goes on increase or decrease based on the season it have. Okay, so agricultural market are a context where the cobweb model might apply since there is a time lag between planting and harvesting. Okay, so there are actually different kinds of cobweb graph. If you see convergent fluctuation, divergent fluctuation, so you do not need to go into details of it, but just for a broader idea you can think of that convergent fluctuation means that prices are being fluctuating. In one season prices are high, in the next season prices are quite low, then in again next season prices are high, but with time the fluctuation intensity is decreasing. Okay, so after a certain period of time price will be stable throughout the season in all over the year. Okay, so that is called convergent fluctuation. But divergent fluctuation means there's fluctuation, the volatility in price will, intensity of that volatility will go high and high and high. So the price won't be stable anytime, especially in the near future in short term. Okay. Apart from this, there are one more, which is like prices will go down and up and down, up and up with same intensity. Okay, so there are three kind of cobweb graph, but you do not need to write all these things and make this graph. This is important from a mains perspective, but what you need to understand, what is cobweb theory? This one, the price up and down with the season. Okay, then food inflation. So again, as I said, that when there is a high prices, low supply of tomato and high prices of tomato in the next season, there would be a food inflation. And even if you can observe in during October and November, inflation rate of India go up to 6.21%, more than our tolerance limit. The major reason was food inflation only. Food inflation goes up more than 100, not 100, more than 10% in some of the vegetables. So that was the reason. Okay, so milk fodder shortage. So food inflation, there are multiple reasons for the food inflation. First is milk, and for milk fodder shortage is there due to untimely rains, then increased transportation costs, and that cause milk production increasing or decreasing. And even in in some cases, most of the produce when they are exporting to international communities at a greater scale, then there would be lack in domestic market, and that cause rise in prices. So that also cause food inflation. So if you read newspaper, you might have read somewhere that the government has put limit on rice export or banned this kind of export. It is particularly to contain food prices in check. Okay, then second, tomato. Tomato, unseasonal rain and affecting supply in multiple states. Then wheat and rice, excess export during Ukraine war, excess export, especially wheat and rice. Then pulses, low cultivation due to focus on cereal and cash crops. Edible oil, high demand, weather issue and supply disruption. Okay. Then minimum export price. Minimum export price is a floor price that discourages the export of goods during inflation, ensuring more supplies remain in local market. However, frequent changes in MEP create uncertainty for farmers. So see, first to maintain domestic market capacity, government used to take different measures. First, they can ban rice export. They can put some limit on sort of export commodities. They can also ensure some sort of minimum export prices as well, because when we put some minimum export price, that commodity won't be demanding in international level as much. For example, you must have been aware about this: when price decreases, demand for that commodity increases. Okay, so most of the produce are being sold to international community at a lesser and lesser price, so that our demand for commodity will increases. So sometimes government put this restriction. They ensure minimum export price to certain commodities so that domestic market have sufficient production with itself. Okay. Then next is open market sales scheme. It is run by FCI, Food Corporation of India, of course, because as I said, the major issue with FCI is the wastage of food, wastage of grain in its warehouses and other places where it used to keep, because those food are not being distributed and not being utilized for any other purposes. So to sell those excess rice and wheat at predetermined price, the scheme's goal is to increase availability and control prices of food grains. So first reason is that they can control wastage of FCI is grain first. Second reason is that there might be high prices in the market. So by selling in under open market sale scheme, they can increase supply of these commodities so that price comes into stable ground. Okay, so FCI sell excess rice and wheat to flour mills, private traders, and bulk buyers through e-auction. Okay, FCI also sell rice and wheat to state government, UTs, and semi-government organization. Who will be taking care of it? Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution determine the prices of food grain. So all these 3 points are important from a prelims perspective. Okay, e-auctioning, and then who in charge ministry, and then they can sell to UT, government, semi-government, and private organization as well. Then comes Operation Green. Okay, Operation Green contain tomato, onion, and potato because these are the basic food item. Okay, vegetable item, tomato, onion, and potato. This initiative helped to smooth out the price volatility by improving logistic and storage capacity. See, I discussed about the cobweb issue. There are multiple things which can be done under cobweb. That is a matter of means. That's why I didn't discuss here. But most of the government initiative are for that direction, in that direction only. Okay, because that is the structural issue. To solve that, we have to focus on maintaining domestic capacity so that the supply of those food item are not being increasing or decreasing in coming season. Okay, this initiative help to smooth out price volatility. Then sugar mill issues. See, like MSP, there are FRP, fair and remunerative price for sugar production. So what happens is government has decided that we will give you fair FRP, just sold your sugar produce to mill owners. What happens is because of the politics and politicization of this issue, government has done to get vote, but in this places, because mill owner are not getting benefit because they have to pay high cost, and because of the global increased supply, because India and Brazil both used to produce sugarcane to the large extent. India is the second largest producer after Brazil. So because of increased supply, global sugar prices fall, and because of this, mill owner are not having benefit, not having profit in sugar businesses. So if you see in your locality, most of the mill got stopped. So FRP was there for benefit of sugar, but because of the politicization and not taking of timely measures and not reducing FRP prices, that causes ultimate losses to mill owner and ultimate losses to farmers as well. Because I have seen myself that in my area mill got stopped, and because of that farmer have to travel to longer distance to another district, in some cases another state as well, to sell their produce. Okay, so that is causing their increased transportation cost as well. Okay, and apart from this, government has also increased overburden, like increased fiscal stress because of this as well. Most of the governments, especially Maharashtra, UP, they are having debt burden of because of this. Maharashtra is having around 7800 crore because of this. They have to repay this amount. Okay, so this is like, this was in favor for farmers. This came with this intention, but it is not in favor for farmer in longer run. Okay, so how government support to sugar mill? Soft loans for sugar mill owner to clear area to farmer, 100% custom duty on import, so that import of sugar commodity are being discouraged, and 0% custom duty on sugar export to support Indian mills. Okay, and subsidy for sugar export as well. They say ki, look, you can earn through this and this and this method, but they are not reducing FRP per se. And because of this custom duty, 100% duty on import and 0% on export, WTO has, like many countries like Brazil, Australia, have complained about India in WTO, and WTO has given the verdict that India should have stopped this in 2020 itself, but India refused to accept it. Okay. Then Green Revolution Krishi Unnati Yojana. It came in 2017. It is a comprehensive scheme combining 11 earlier scheme to promote sustainable agriculture. Okay, Krishi Unnati Yojana, Green Revolution. And an FSM to increase rice, wheat and millet production, Yellow Revolution for oil seeds and oil palm. So this kind of acronym is important. Blue Revolution for fishery, Yellow Revolution for oil seed and oil palm, and then Sweet Revolution for honey, Green Revolution for agricultural produce and all those things. Okay, National Bamboo Mission for boost to farmer income, Mission for Sustainable Agriculture to promote organic farming and soil conservation, PM Kisan Sampada Yojana, PMKSY. Okay, it is run by Ministry of Food Processing, Food Processing Ministry. Okay, so again we have discussed a lot of schemes which are run by different ministries, not particularly agriculture one. So in that one you have to focus and you have to learn those ministries itself. Okay, then objective to set up food processing infrastructure like food park and cold storage. Budget 2018 come up with Operation Green sub-scheme focused on tomato, onion and potato for better storage and transportation thing. Okay, expansion done in 2020 extended to all fruits and vegetables for reduced food wastage, better prices for farmer and affordable food for consumer. Then comes horticulture development CDP program for NHB. See, we have discussed about agricultural produce, we discussed about animal husbandry, fisheries, and other things. But one of the major area, horticulture development, they are quite having huge potential. For example, they are using almost 10% of agricultural resources, but contributing almost 33% of agricultural GDP itself. Okay, and that is why horticulture is having a huge potential. India have not utilized its resources till date. Okay, so that is also one of the reason. And apart from this, in one of the research it has been found that a farmer using dealing with horticulture activities are or can earn up to 15 times more than the traditional farmers who are producing wheat and rice. So again, farmers are not being aware and they are not getting support through infrastructural government schemes and all those things. That's why this particular sector is not have grown up to the level. Okay, so let me see, is it being recorded or not? Okay, I'm just fearful of it because my whole effort will go wasted. Okay. Then horticulture developments, cluster development program, beneficiary who would be beneficiary farmers in specific horticulture region, mango, banana and grapes. Okay, what would be the goal? Cover 9 lakh hectare benefiting 10 lakh farmers. Okay, that's okay, you can ignore this kind of fact, but you just need to learn horticulture development CDP program is run by NHB and cluster would be there. Okay, so they actually assign some of the crops in different regions like apple in Shofia and Kinnaur region, mango in Lucknow, Kutch and Mehbuba Nagar, then banana in Anantapur, Theni, and then grapes in Nasik, pineapple in Shipha Zila, Sipahi Zala, Sipahi Zala, then pomegranate, Solapur, and Chitradurg, then turmeric, West Jantia Hills. Okay. Atmanirbhar Suraksha for instant subsidy. Farmer receives subsidy for purchasing horticulture seeds plant through e-rupee voucher. So I have discussed about e-rupee in some of the previous classes. I hope you remember it. Okay, so e-rupee is a kind of voucher, is given purpose specific voucher given by government. Okay, and we can use only for that purpose only to provide that kind of subsidy. Okay, then comes white revolution. White revolution related to milk. So there are White Revolution, you might have heard Vergis Kurian. It initiated in 1970, and that's why India is largest milk producer today. Okay, so there are notable initiative as well. Pashudhan Sanjeevani. It is for emergency helpline for animal wellness. Then Nakul Swasth Patra. It is for animal health card with unique ID linking animal to a national database. Okay, Nakul Swasth Patra. Then e-Pashudhan Hart, online portal connecting farmer with breeders for indigenous bovine breed for better breeding practices. Okay. Then e-Gopala app, National Dairy Development Board app providing information on cattle care, health and diet. Gopal Ratna Award to farmers who adopt 100% artificial insemination for cattle. Then Rashtriya Gokul Mission, National Kamdhenu Breeding Center focuses on Rashtriya Gokul Mission focuses on conserving indigenous bovine breed like Gir, Sahiwal and Rathi. Then National Kamdhenu Breeding Center focus on conserving and developing indigenous breed. Okay. So they are purpose specific scheme. You just go through once or twice and try to remember it. That's it. Okay, then comes blue revelation. Of course, I say try to remember it, remember it. I know how hard it is to learn all those facts. Even today, even after reading so much, so many times, I do forget all these things. So it happens, it is natural. Okay, if by doing a mistake in your mock paper, by reading it multiple times, this is the only way forward to learn all these stuffs. Okay, so don't worry at all if you are forgetting these kind of factual details. If you read it multiple times, trust me, things will sort it down. Okay. Then blue revelation. Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. Blue revelation related to fishery sector for fishery development. Okay, blue means pani. Pani means fish. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, a multi-billion scheme focused on welfare and growth of the fishery sector. Then Sagar Mitra program for extension workers. Sagar Mitra provide training to fishermen on better technique and marketing. Then comes aquaculture support, subsidies for fishing boats, vessel and infrastructure to promote inland aquaculture and cold water fisheries. Then quality control initiative, establishment of quality control labs to meet international health and safety standard for seafood exports. Okay. Then Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samriddhi Yojana, it came in 2024, so it is quite recent in nature, so you need to learn it. This sub scheme focuses on providing support to MSMEs, micro and small fisheries enterprises, and funding target would be 6,000 crore over 4 years up to 2027. Focus area, registration of unorganized fishery, ensuring support to aquaculture and performance grant for product quality control. Okay. Then comes sweet revelations. Sweet revelation related to sweet, matlab honey production related to honeybee and honey beekeeping and all those things. So it is taken care by Department of Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Cooperatives. Right now, I think that it is taken care by Ministry of Animal Husbandry and Fishery and Animal Husbandry would be there. The government launched initiative like National Beekeeping and Honey Mission to boost honey production and beekeeping, aiding income generation for farmers from honey, bee wax and bee venom. Other revolution in agriculture, so pink revolution related to meat and poultry industry, yellow revolution related to oil seeds production, silver revolution related to egg production, then golden revolution related to fruits, honey, horticulture and jute. Even for honey, there is a separate sweet revolution. Then black revolution related to bioethanol and biodiesel production. Then research and extension services. India is lacking somewhere in research and development in every kind of sector, not just agriculture. Okay, but there are some dedicated institution. There have been focus on this particular aspect, although this is not getting fund from government to what is actually needing, and of course the policy implementation issue and all those things are there. But India have to focus on this particular thing on a serious note. Okay, so existing institution we have, first is ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. It founded in 1929. Okay, quite old. It is a leading body for agricultural research, education, extension of India. But ICAR is quite active in nature. If you read newspaper, you might have heard ICAR almost every week. They come up with certain news, certain experiments, certain things and all those things. They used to hire expert researcher as well. Okay, ICAR reach over 690 plus Krishi Vigyan Kendra, provide last mile support to farmers, helping them adopt the latest agricultural technology. Agricultural census. Okay, it started in 1970 as a part of FAO's World Census of Agriculture. Even I think 2 3 months back, when I was reading newspaper, I got to know about agricultural census. They are holding now. So right now it is going on, agricultural census and all those things. Okay, so ministry, it is done by Ministry of Agriculture with data collected by NSO office under MOSP. Okay, frequency every 5 years. So right now, as I said, that this is being done right now, so probably the reports will come out during June, July. I don't know. Probably they will come this year only. So frequency, it happens every 5 years, and the 2020 census got delayed due to pandemic. But 21-22 phase one will be completed by December 2023. But right now, it till 2025 it has not been completed till date. So let's see. So agricultural year versus financial year, although I was not aware of it, trust me. So yeah, there is a different year. For financial year, we used to think from 1st April to 31st March, but for agriculture, 1st July to 30 June, because they are having two season in itself. Okay, March is in between of their season. Okay, that's why 1st July to 30 June. This is quite important because this is something not everyone knows. If you were already aware of it, kudos to you. Then explanation: financial year used for taxation and accounting, agricultural year used for agricultural related data collection, census and survey. Okay. Next is digital crop survey system. Agricultural Ministry, of course, they will look at it. So before 2024, crop survey were done manually using pen and paper, causing delay and error. But from 2024, system switched to GPS-enabled mobile apps. Okay, what is the difference between survey and census? So census means data collection for entire population or area. Survey data collected from a sample. Okay, so actually census is a broader term. They have each and every kind of data all over of area. But census means a shorter term. Okay, sorry, census, no, survey means shorter term. They are taking data from sample itself on random basis, or there are different kind of method to take data from sample. Okay, then Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, this is an international body headquartered in Rome, Italy. Okay, they focus on global food security issues and food price inflation through food price index, and they track these particular seeds: cereal seeds, oil seeds, dairy product, sugar, meat. Almost they are containing each kind of seeds in it. International Milk Day celebrated on June 1. Okay, since 2001, the theme for 2021 was sustainably dairy sector. UPSC does not ask day and all, but most of the state PCS exam used to ask such kind of data. So yeah, you can learn it June 1. Then International Year for Millets. So you can think of millets. Millets are quite important. Just a second, let me write it. This writing pad is demanding to replace it. Millets. Okay, so millets are quite uh, trend in nature. Since especially the India government came in India, they started focusing on millets. Okay, so 2023, with India's effort, UN also celebrated International Year for Millet, and the whole year was known for millet. Okay, in why India focused on this? Because India have advantage, climatical advantage, geographical advantage, or even traditional knowledge advantage as well. India is the largest producer of sorghum. Okay, so that is why India focused on millets. They are low cost and efficient production, with can be grown in multiple season. Kharif and rabi crops and all those things can produce in drought region as well, rainfall condition as well. So they are highly resistant in a mid of climate change. So that is why focus on millets are increasing day by day. Okay, millet as a cereal. Okay, so see, even millet is a great business idea as well. So yeah, probably I don't know what will I do, but supposedly millets is something very interesting area for business activities as well. So millet uh, nowadays, uh, millet is known for nutritional security. Okay, and in 2023, government came up with Shri Anna Yojana as well. They cover these particular 8 millets: pearl millet, sorghum, finger millet, barnyard millet, foxtail millet, kodo millet, little millet, proso millet, and these kind of millet. In Hindi, if you see bajra, zwar, ragi, zadha, kangni, kodo, kutki, china, all those are being focused in Sri Anna. So government used to promote these kind of production and giving support to those farmers for its domestic supply as well as for its export as well. Okay, so there is Millet International Initiative for Research and Awareness. Uh, India plans to launch this initiative with G20 nation for global cooperation. Millet was also one of the focus in G20 meeting as well. Okay, so we have reached to end of this session. I hope you have remembered a lot, although there is a lot of factual details in this particular topic. And there are multiple things what I have intentionally ignored because they are actually related to mains. So I focused on mostly prelims prelims kind of subject material only. Okay, so I'll meet you in the next topic, which is foreign trade. Okay, so till then, bye bye and enjoy your studies. Okay, bye and have a nice day.